video for the Luke 140 Syndicate. Well, everyone, we took Luke down to Leesburg, Virginia, to the Morven Park International Horse Trials. I put Luke in the prelim horse, the open prelim division. The dressage test you're seeing here was Saturday morning early, and Luke was breathing fire. He was very, very nervous and excited, and well, not nervous, just fired up. Unfortunately, this is Luke all over, so I don't think he means to be naughty or bad. He's just such a high energy horse that when you're at these small little shows that it's hard for him to contain himself. Anyway, it was obviously a bit of a wild dressage test here. You see him throwing in a bit of a buck there. Anyway, obviously my main goal this year was to, you know, I think we've got to get through this. The first couple of shows we always take Luke to, he's just a lunatic, and I really wanted to sort of flush that out of his system this year, since coming back into full work, so that by the time we get to January and February next year, that he's already been out competing. And I'm hoping that once we go to some higher level events next winter, that Luke's not so fired up. But it's anyway, he was quite the character in the dressage and in the show jumping warm up, and by the time we got to the cross country, we burnt off quite a lot of energy, and he was a good boy. My biggest focus is next season. We've got to aim him for a big 5-star in the spring next year, and to do that we've got to build his body up, his fitness up, which takes months and months, and also like build his, you know, he's such a feisty animal. I think doing a couple little shows slowly and trying to make them as boring as possible will benefit from it next year. So we had a terrible dressage score. Obviously, I think we got a 39, which honestly was it should have been a 49 or a 59. It was a very generous score. You see the extended walk here, nice and free, and then he sees the white horse coming by, and then all of a sudden, whoa! And what do you do? Come on, Luke, settle down. And again, I don't think he's being naughty. I just think this is him. He's like this every day at home. It's I've fallen off him a couple of times this year just riding dressage. When he gets a truck or a car goes by, or there's a noise go by, it really sets him off. So anyway, it's this is the horse we have, and the thing I've always got to remind myself is that when we get to a 5-star like the Mullen last year, that power and energy and sort of mongrel that he's got into him all of a sudden becomes our wonderful attribute. When the big, fat, shiny, slow thinking warm bloods start tiring at about 3 miles, old Lucas is just getting settled in. So he's a champion horse for the high levels. Unfortunately for the smaller classes, he's a real handful. I'm not going to show my wife this video, but I'm going to try and talk her into riding the test ride at Maryland 5-star next year. Next week, I'm sorry. So I think that's on Thursday lunchtime. I've got to sweet talk Silver a little bit. I think it'd be good for Luke to get out to Maryland 5-star and go through the 5-star test. And anyway, I've still got to convince her to do it. So this is the Luke show jumping. He was equally as wild in the warm-up, and he settled down. I sent this video to my show jumping coach, Peter Wild. He said that I'm sitting back in the air a little bit too much, and I tried to explain to him that the jumps you didn't see is that he was landing in the warm-up and throwing in a bit of a buck. So sadly we bumped out fence 2 behind with his hind legs. I wasn't quite sure how Luke was going to land, and react on landing, so I probably sat back a little bit too much in the air, anticipating him to be out of control. Cross country, we got a little bit of the cross country from Sunday morning on the video. Like New Jersey, I just cantered around nice and easy. There's a small chance I might take him up to Canada in about 3 or 4 weeks to do a competition at the there's an eventing competition, an indoor competition at the Toronto Royal Fair.
In 2 miles, take exit 91B onto I-695
double check his
alternate
legs
north and
make sure
I-695
my vet
alternate
thinks
south
it's a
toward
good
New
idea.
York.
So this is the cross country, and I really just tried to stay at this nice, even, slow pace the whole way around the track, and we picked up a boatload of time penalties, but obviously soundness is important, and I also think it's important for Luke just to go really fast a couple times a year at the big shows. I think if you rode him fast all the time, it wouldn't be very beneficial. Anyway, guys, so happy to be riding Luke. He's a handful, but he's an incredible horse, and he jumped around the course fantastic, and I really believe we've got a fantastic horse for next year.